Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Ingalls and this is my discussion post 2, roles and groups. So I just wanted to start out this discussion post by kind of going through some roles that I see in myself, roles that I perform every day. And I'd like to do that by just kind of running through my day with you guys. So each day starts about the same. I wake up and pretty much the first role right out of the gate there is being a dog parent. I don't know if any of you have pets, specifically dogs, but if you do, then you probably know what I'm talking about right away in the morning. The first sign of movement, they are up, ready to go, ready to play, ready to eat, ready to go potty. So that is a huge role for me, especially right away in the morning. I see where this can be viewed as an ascribed or an achieved status. I mean, maybe ascribed if this isn't something you chose, but just kind of got pushed into. I personally view this as more of an achieved status. I feel very privileged and honored to get to have my dogs, live somewhere where I'm able to have dogs. This is definitely a choice that I made for myself, therefore I view this as very much an achieved status. Next, after getting the dogs all settled, then I'm getting ready, brushing hair, brushing teeth, doing all of that, and then taking some meds right away in the morning there. So that is another role that I have every day, being a patient. I'm taking those meds. That is another one I can see too where it can be viewed as both ascribed or achieved. And I personally myself view this as more an ascribed status. There's some people, healthcare is very, important, and that's something that they choose for themselves every day. And absolutely, I'm on some meds that I'm going to be on for life no matter what I do. So I feel like for myself personally, that's just more of an ascribed status because I didn't choose that. That's just something that I kind of got pushed into. So that's my life. And then after getting all ready and everything, that brings me to my next role. Then I'm out the door on the way to work, and my next role is that being an employee and also a caregiver. So I personally work as a nurse, and I'm very privileged and honored every day I get to go to work, help take care of patients, make people's lives better, and that is a huge deal for me, and I feel like that is a very achieved status for me, something I'm very privileged to have chosen and worked for, and that's just a very important one for me. And then next, either on my lunch breaks or after work, that brings me to another role that I have. So when I have some free time or some downtime, I enter in that role of then being a student. I like to find some time to study, just out of any breaks that I have there, try to work that in. And being a student is also a status of a very achieved status for me. I just feel very privileged to be in the opportunity or have the opportunity to further my education, and not everyone gets that, so I feel that is very achieved status for me, and I'm very honored to have that. And then just depending on the day, this day in particular where I was tracking my actions, I ended up having to go pick up my niece and take her to some of her events. Like today specifically, it was ice skating, so that pushes me into another role, and that of being an aunt. And although I love my niece and I'm very honored to be able to help out in her life and do all of these things, take her places, I do feel that is more of an ascribed status. It's not something I necessarily chose. Like I said, very honored and love to be a part of her life like this, but not something I necessarily chose. So more something I was just kind of pushed into, where I feel that's more of an ascribed status. And then next, just kind of running through those social and institutional groups that I socialize with. Starting out number one, kind of going hand in hand with that aunt role, is family. I feel that it's a huge social group, and they support me with, like I said, there's everything in life, whether that make decision making, social decision making, work, education, financial decisions, pretty much everything. It's a huge benefit having that social group of my family there for me. And then next, I have the more institutional group of my coworkers. I don't know how familiar all of you are with healthcare, but having that good rapport with your coworkers is huge, especially in healthcare. Sharing the patient load, the caseload, the work, the cares, everything. It's absolutely, it's essential to have that good rapport and that good relationship with your coworkers. Having that support in the workplace is huge. And then another institutional support I have is my peer classmates. I actually have classes with a couple of my coworkers, and I know some other people going through the classes too, and that really helps to have that community of understanding in the education. Whereas if there's something I'm not getting and I maybe don't want to reach out to an instructor, then you have these other peers here that can, relate. They know what you're going through and help work through stuff, and that is just a huge support from that. And then finally, some roles that serve my anticipatory socialization, something I'm looking forward to. First one is parenthood. That is a role that I see can be both ascribed or achieved. I feel like personally for myself that I would feel that as an achieved role, something, when I choose to that point and get to that point, that's something I'd be very honored to get and have. And I have a lot of role models in life and stuff like that to kind of help mold what I want that to look like. So that's a very key role for me. And then kind of on the same note, so my higher level of nursing is another anticipatory socialization role for me. So I like to see myself, I don't know how much you guys know too about nursing, so I'm an LPN, that's kind of just very basic level nursing, but I'm working at Lake Area right now to get my RN, and then eventually I'd like to get my bachelor's, potentially my master's, and even further on from there. So just seeing, all these roles that I can, all the places I can go with that, those are just huge achieved statuses for me and something that I just really look forward to and hope I can achieve for myself. All right, thanks everyone.